All right, Fuzzins. Oh shit, hold on. I'm back with another one. You know what I'm saying? Just dropping the. For me, just trying to drop some wisdom, man. Drop some knowledge, man. Maybe help somebody out in their life, you know. Doing my job, you know. All right, so starting on, well, not starting, but January 1st, 2023 marks one whole year of me being weed free. Completely. I ain't gonna say completely sober because from out I didn't got off the drink a couple times, but like as far as the weed, none of that. I'll completely put that down. And January 1st marks the 1 year. So like I want to give people some tips on how they can, you know, overcome their weed addiction. Let's just call it what it is. It's an addiction, like. But all addictions are nothing but habits. So I'm gonna give y'all some tips on how I got over that bad habit of smoking weed every day. I was smoking weed every day for like 4 years straight. Every day, like. And I tried to quit a few times, but I always end up just going back to it. So yeah, so let's get into it. So I think the number one tip that I can really give somebody who really want to get over who want to get rid of a bad habit in general, not just weed, it could be anything. The number one tip, you got to have a solid reason why. So tip number one, know why. Why do you want to quit this drug? Why do you want to quit this habit? What's the reason and what's on the other side of that? So you got the bad habit. What you need a valid reason to really get rid of this habit. Like if I stop doing this habit, it'll take my life in this direction. What's on the other side of that? You know, my why. It was actually a bunch of reasons I stopped smoking weed. To name a few, one, I was just felt like I was losing my drive, like I was losing my ambition down there. Like just I feel like that weed, it really like it makes you too satisfied. Like you just okay with everything, like, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Like that can be detrimental, especially if you somebody who's normally driven and who wants to go after things in life. So that was one reason I felt like I was at a lack of motivation. Another reason it was STB. That was my main reason. Like if y'all don't know, STB is for me my brand. Not just me, but me and the gang. It's our brand, and like I really wanted to see that elevate. And I felt like me smoking weed every day and just not being on my shit, it was hurting the business. It was hurting the brand. So that was my main reason. Like anytime I like thought about smoking, on the other side of that, I was like, nah, it's gonna fuck up what I got going with STB. So that was a big reason for me. Another reason was I wasn't dreaming. Like I couldn't remember none of my dreams. Like I was like, for a few years, like every once in a while I remember a dream, but for the longest I just could not remember my dreams, bro. And some just tell me like that's not healthy. Like I feel like not dreaming or not being aware of your dreams is just not healthy in a way. And I swear, like I don't know if somebody just told me this or I seen it somewhere, but they say once you stop dreaming, it's like you kind of like, I don't know. I ain't even gonna get into that because I don't know all the details, but I just know that I was not having dreams and I wanted to have dreams. Like I want to see what's going on in my head. And then once I put the weed down, bro, my dreams are literally like movies. Like my shit be wild. A bunch of them be random, but like often they're just like movies, like adventures, crazy like shit happening. Like they really be wild, man. So that was another reason. Something I did, well, I'm gonna get into that later. Well, I'll just talk about now. Something I did that like, I started doing research on why smoking weed every day was bad for you. And you'll find some very interesting things. Like they say from like the ages of something to 25, like your brain isn't all the way developed. And if you smoke weed every day, it's fucking up your brain development. Another thing, it kill your testosterone, your testes, your sperm count. You're like, come on, I need that. Can't go without that. So that's another reason. So yeah, like another tip, bro, just like shit, find a negative side of it. That'll keep your ass away from it. So yeah, like that's a couple reasons why I stopped the reasons that like made me want to stop. I would just say whatever your why is, make it very specific. Have other whys too, but have your main one. For me, it was STB. Have your main one, but like be very specific. And anytime that thought come in your mind, anytime weed come in your mind, think of that why. Like that why. Like shit, if you got a kid, make your kid your why. If you fucking up their growth because you being lazy all day smoking weed. So like anytime weed come into your mind, you need to counteract that with your child. Like, damn, if I smoke weed, it's gonna fuck up my child's development because I can't be the best version of me. And then I'm showing my kid that this is okay when it's really not. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so know your why and be very specific as to why you're doing it. Something else I did that helped me quit smoking, tell everybody that you do not smoke. Or whatever the habit may be, tell yourself and everybody else that you do not do that. I don't care if you're still doing it. I don't care if you're still doing it. Let me say that one more time. I don't care if you're still doing it. Even if you're still doing it, tell yourself and tell other people that you don't do that. That's what I did. That's like a hack right there. That's like a hack, I swear to God. Because look, this is what I did. So during the process where I was trying to quit, I was still smoking, but I was telling people, nah, I don't smoke. It's literally a clip from our podcast. Shout out STV Network. I'm gonna put the clip up where I'm literally hitting the blunt. And after I hit the blunt, I said, I do not smoke weed. I haven't smoked weed in a whole year.
See, I ain't remember.
But I feel like
that was
Abdu
cool.
looking at it.
I did the whole spirit ride.
I do not smoke weed. I haven't smoked in a year.
Damn, my fault, boy.
Nah. I manifested.
Oh, okay.
And look at me now. You know what I mean? Like, so tell yourself and tell everybody else, like, people start before I even really quit, like, people really believe like, nah, Keon don't smoke no more. And I'm still smoking, like, but they don't think I do. So it's like some type of weird psychology thing. It's like, shit, if they don't think I do, and like, shit, do I really? You know what I mean? Like, do I really? And it's crazy because you really don't smoke weed. Like, when you say I did something, you like identify as it. You only smoke weed when you're smoking weed, if that makes sense. Like, you only smoke weed when you smoke weed. When you say I smoke weed, you damn near saying that's just who you are. You're a weed smoker. You're not a weed smoker. Watch, it's like some weird psychology thing where when you say you don't do something and then other people like they believe it and you like all right, I'm gonna say this. The more you say that you don't do something, the more like you're imprinting that into your subconscious mind. The more times you say that, I don't do this, I don't do that, I don't smoke weed, I don't smoke weed, I don't smoke weed. Your subconscious is gonna pick that up, and then eventually you're gonna operate based on that. And you're just gonna not smoke weed. So yeah, that was a major thing I did that really helped me. Like, I just stopped identifying with it. I no longer associated with it. I don't smoke weed. Shit. Everybody start believing it, then I start believing it. I do not smoke weed. Tip number 3, just take baby steps. I wouldn't say I went cold turkey because I like before I all the way went, I was like, I did like a week, then I did 2 weeks. Like, this what happened. I did a week, okay, and then I eventually fell back on it, start smoking again, start smoking daily again. And then after a few months, I'm like, fuck it, I'm done doing this again for the umpteenth time. I'll just say that again. I'm quitting smoking weed after this. So I quit again, went 2 weeks for me. Then temptation came in. My why wasn't big enough. Just for me, start smoking weed every day again. Then I went, I think I went like 3 months after that. After the 2 week John, I'm like, okay, this for me. I'm gonna get to that point in a minute. But after the 2 week John, I'm like, all right, I did 3 months. 3 months for me. I was eating. For me, I was feeling good one night. I'm like, fuck it. Nah, we was in Chicago for the STB trip. For me, we ate up at the conference. We made some bread for the brand. I'm like, fuck it, I'm about to celebrate, smoke the weed. Low-key start tweaking. Did that again. Like, so it's just a slow process. And then like I kept doing that. And then came January, not this year, but January the previous year. I'm like, all right, it's slither. It's like it's slither. feel me? Let me talk about this. So another thing I did in the process, like I stopped buying shells. Like I stopped like that action of going to the store and buying shells. I completely cut that out. Like I didn't quit smoking weed I didn't quit smoking weed yet, but I said, all right, I'm no longer buying shells. So the only time I could smoke is if somebody was smoking with me or if I was smoking doobies. So for me, I was smoking doobies. Motherfuckers was pulling up like just to smoke. Like, and then eventually I'm like, nah, that can't for me. That ain't it. So I just had to go all in. So yeah, like just baby steps. Start taking little actions. Block the plug's number. Stop matching the homies. What else? Stop buying shells. Smoke doobies only. You gonna get tired of smoking them goddamn doobies, like, especially if you be off the woods. You gonna get tired of them goddamn doobies, like, them bitches be harsh as hell. But when you gotta smoke, you gotta smoke. But nah. All right, man. Some side notes on this journey, like when you're trying to quit, you're in a habit, like you're caught in a loop. So like your body is accustomed to doing it. Whatever it is, your body is accustomed to doing it. So like as you're trying to quit, you're gonna have these little thoughts that come into your mind that try to convince you to smoke. You have to be aware of that. Like that's something I became aware of. Like it was always something that convinced me that it was okay to smoke. And at a certain point, I just had to be like, all right, nah, nothing that comes into my mind, nothing I say to myself or anybody else can convince me to smoke weed. I had to stand on that. I had to commit to that. Like, cause it's so crazy because it's your own self. It be your own goddamn self sometimes. Like, you're so accustomed to it, so your body gonna send signals to your brain that try to convince you, like, yes, we need to smoke, but you have to go against that. Listen, you're going to go through withdrawals. Now, I don't care what the habit is. You're gonna go through some form of withdrawal. Like, you're gonna have them mood swings. You're gonna have night sweats. You're gonna have trouble sleeping, trouble eating. You're gonna be anxious. You gotta just go through the emotions. Like, you gotta go through it. If this is really what you want and if your why is important enough, you gonna go through the emotions. And they don't last that long as you think. They don't last as long as you think. There's a hump. It's like a wave for me. It's temporary and then it come back down. Like, it ain't gonna last that long. You'll get over it. Just be like, okay, I know I'm gonna go through this, but talk to your body like, bro, it's what we gotta do to get on the other side of this. Feel me? Like, it's just what we gotta go through for now. No excuses. Like, you have to stand on your word. That's like I said, nothing nobody say, nothing you tell yourself, nothing. This is what you said you're gonna do this, you're going to do it. You know what I mean? There's nothing, do not let nothing come in between you and what you said you was going to do. Stand on your word. Stand on your word. Is this what you really want? Is your why really that important? Then stand on your word. Like that, I ain't gonna lie. With that alone, saying you gonna do something and doing it, that alone is way more important than anything. Like that's how you build confidence in yourself. Like, you said you was gonna do something and you stood on it. Like, that is a golden character trait to have. Not even just when it's important when you say you're gonna do something for somebody else and you do it. That's very important too. But when you say that for yourself, like, come on, man, that's gold right there. That's self-mastery gold. Like, that's where true confidence and, like, I don't know, but like that's everything on a self-mastery level, on a self-development character level. Like, another thing, there's going to be temptation. The people around you, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be smoking weed. If that's the environment you in, it's gonna be people in your environment who gonna try to convince you, or just they might not even try to convince you. You might just be around it, and there go that thought. You're gonna start tweaking. It's gonna be like a split. It's gonna be a you that don't want to do it because you said you wasn't going to, and it's gonna be a you that want to do it because that's, for me, the habit that you suck in. Think of them as your higher self and your lower self. Who you gonna listen to? You gonna give in? Oh, so you don't want to stand on your word now. You ain't gonna keep your word now. What you gonna do? Stand on your word. That's what you gonna do. Listen, you gonna stand on your word. And then at a certain point, you can be like after you go so long without it and you done told yourself no so many times, it gets easier. I was just talking about this on my Instagram. It's like a lumberjack cutting down a tree. Like the more they swing, the more they keep trying, the more they do it, it's less resistance. Every chop get easier and easier and easier. And then the tree just fall down. Like every time you say no, your body, like there's less resistance to that temptation. Every time you say no, like the first time you tell yourself no, it might be hard. The second time it might be a little less harder. And by the goddamn 100th time, goddamn 1,500 times, it's just like it's not even an option. It's not even a question. Like, no, nigga, I don't smoke. I'm not about to hit that one. Wait, what the fuck? So yeah, man. Just keep on telling yourself no. Just keep resisting temptation, and then eventually that shit just gonna get easier. Like I remember the time where it was hard for me to say no, and I remember a time where it was just like not even an option. Like, so I remember when me and my homie Simon, shout out Simon, man. We went out one night. For me, we just turned up, and like I was probably like 3 months in at this time. And bro, for me, I was drinking. He had a blunt too. And he asked me if I want to hit it. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I was like, nah, I'm cool. It's been 3 months. Like this is the important having quality friends around you. Cause a friend who's stuck in the habit and want to make themselves feel better, like they want to make themselves feel. All right, this what happens. Sometimes people who know they doing a negative habit, they'll try to get you to do it too, to validate the habit, to make it seem like it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that smoking weed is bad, but like, y'all know what I'm saying, man. Y'all know what I'm saying. In moderation, it's cool, but every day, people who smoke every day, it's not good for you. I don't care what nobody say, it's not good. So to validate that, they'll try to get other people to give in. Like, they'll try to get other people to do what they're doing. But Simon, he's so solid, he like, for me, I'm over there tweaking on the low, like, damn, I low-key do want to hit that. We feeling good. I'm low-key want to hit that, right? Mind you, I'm 3 months in the end at this time. I told him that. He like, oh, nah, nigga, you not hitting it. You feel me? He like, oh, nah, like, don't even trip. So for me, like, and then after that, I'm just like, shit, he said nah, so it's nah, for me. So that's important, having solid people around you, but like, that's a time where I think that was the last time I was really tempted to hit the weed. After that, I could just be around it, like motherfuckers smoking around me. I'm like, nah, I don't smoke. And I ain't gonna beat you. It's low-key beastie being the only one who don't smoke. Like, cause it's a lot of motherfuckers want to not smoke. Like, they smoke, but they at the same time they want to quit, but they in that habit. And you the one who really locked in, focused, and said, nah, fuck that shit. Like, you look beastie. I don't care what nobody say. Like from my perspective, now, a whole year of not smoking, it really ain't nothing. But for me back then, like if I was still like, for me who was stuck in that habit, and I told myself, like, if somebody told me they stopped smoking a year ago, I'd be like, damn, bro, how the hell you do that? But now from this perspective, it's like, bro, it's easy. It ain't nothing. I just didn't smoke. Like, I swear, after like month 3 or 4, it's nothing, bro. So yeah, another thing, I brought this up earlier a little bit, but start doing research on how it's bad for you. Like, it's so many videos out there that tell you whatever the habit may be, you can find some negative stuff on it, and that's just something that's gonna help you through it. Like, it's gonna give you a reason not to do it. So yeah, let me give y'all some benefits that I've seen from me sticking it through, putting the weed down. And one habit that I found is like I said earlier, like, it's going to be you're going to have a new confidence about yourself. Like, you're going to have trust in yourself. Trust in yourself breeds confidence. I promise you, trust in yourself breeds confidence. So like I said, when you do something, when you say you're going to do something and you do it, that builds trust in yourself. Imagine a motherfucker like, imagine if somebody, say one of your homies, that anytime you ask them for something, they'll say they will do it, but they never pull through. After the first time, you're gonna be like, all right. But after the 4th, 5th time, you're gonna be like, nah, I can't even trust this motherfucker. I'm not even about to ask him. It's the same thing with yourself. So if you tell yourself you're gonna do something and then you don't do it, and you keep doing that, you're not gonna trust yourself. How can you trust yourself? You said you're gonna do something and you didn't do it. You know what I mean? So like standing on your word to yourself is gonna breed confidence, it's gonna breed trust, and that's everything. So another thing, you're gonna be way more focused on, like, cause that energy you putting into weed, that's energy you could be putting somewhere else. Like for me, like I really locked in. Like I locked in on the gym. I locked in on my video production. For me, I start getting around different crowds of people. I really started to elevate. So you're gonna have a newfound focus, a newfound energy. Like not even a newfound energy. You just not wasting your energy no more. I feel like when you smoke weed, it's obviously it's a downer. So like you could be up, you could be turned up, smoke, and now you just no motivation, no more motivation. You could have all the motivation in the world, smoke, and now you're like, it's just dead. So instead of killing your motivation and killing that energy, you're directing it somewhere else. Whatever it is that you do, for me, just direct the energy. You can get in the gym, perfect your craft, read a goddamn book. Like I started reading way more books since I stopped smoking weed. For me, like my mind is just, it's not as cloudy anymore. Like it used to be a lot of confusion and whatnot, but now it's more focused on a specific goal. Yeah, so yeah, you know, more focus, more energy. Back to the foggy point, your mind gonna be more clear. I don't think people realize how much time they spend just thinking about weed alone. Like that's space in your mind that you're using to think about weed, thinking about your next blunt or where you gonna get a gram from, or if the plug even got some gas in, and if he don't, who I'ma get the weed from. Like all that thought energy could be directed towards something else. The contents of your mind is everything. I'm reading Think and Grow Rich right now, and they talking about how basically your thoughts manifest into things. So if I'm thinking about a bag all day, I'm gonna go get me a bag. I'm gonna start taking actions that get me a bag. Now I ain't talking about a bag of weed, I'm talking about a bag, I'm talking about cash money. If I'm thinking about that all day, I'm gonna go grab me some money somehow, some way. But if I'm thinking about weed all day, I'm gonna go get that other bag, I'm gonna go sit on my ass. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, them some benefits. Yeah, this video getting a little lengthy, but hopefully it's helping somebody. Hopefully you can take something away. Man, let's really lock in. Like, let's really lock in. Stand on our words, build trust in ourselves, build confidence in ourselves. For me, you can do it. You have to believe you can do it, but you have to want to at the same time. And you have to not just want to, like thinking, like in Think and Grow Rich, they talking about you gotta have a burning desire for it. That's how you get what you want. You have you get a burning desire for it, and you don't take no for an answer. So for me, let's get this bag, man. I'm out. That's the video for today. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, man. For me, I've just turned up on this one. I had to. Hey, shout out, bro. He told me you gotta look into the camera eye. For me, close the viewfinder and just lock in, and that's what I did, man. Shout out, bro. Shout out everybody supporting the channel, man. Let's keep going. Let's get to this bag. Let's get to this cash money. Let's elevate our minds, and then let that shit manifest in the physical plane. Yes, dig. You dig. Let's go.